Hi guys, how are you? So exciting times are here again in the tennis world as French Open is going to start from today. So whose year is this going to be? Will it be Dominic Thiem, who just won his first Grand Slam title at the US Open, or will it be Rafael Nadal looking for his 20th Grand Slam title, looking to equal Federer's record? Or will it be Novak Djokovic, who just got, pushed out of US Open and will be looking for some sort of revenge on his rivals, and also the burning question that everybody is asking Novak, when is he going to catch the big guns like the Federer and the Nadal? So we'll just analyze how these three are performing right now and what are their chances in this year's French Open. So, talking about Dominic Thiem, he is coming out of US Open as the Grand Slam champion. He always had the game, he just didn't have the title. Now he has the title, so now he'll be more confident. And of course, clay is one of his beloved surface. He plays really well. He has also played well against Nadal at the French Open. So last year, if you saw the match, it was a great match, and Thiem actually started off pretty well. It's just that maybe he got tired towards the end. Even though he was able to finish well in the second set, he was able to win the second set. But then, of course, if it's a long match against Nadal, eventually you are going to lose unless you play aggressive. So I think Thiem is playing really well. He's confident, and the conditions at the French Open this year are really different than all the previous years because the timing is different. So it's not going to be really sunny and hot and humid conditions the way Rafa really likes. It's going to be different this time. The conditions are going to be damp. It's going to be rainy. We also have the roof now, so the conditions might be a bit uh, different for all the players. And also we have heard that the balls this time that are being used are different, so that is also a factor. And all these factors do not favor Nadal, so that's a point that might not go in his favor. And of course the fact that he will also feel some sort of pressure because of these conditions, as well as because he's chasing the 20th Grand Slam title. So definitely more pressure would be on Rafa, and Thiem would be the most confident player, and he's playing well. So I think he has some good chances. And for Novak, I mean, if Novak is playing well, we know that he can definitely beat Thiem and he can beat Nadal as well. Even though in the recent years he has lost to Thiem, I think twice in the French Open, and of course to Nadal, he was victorious the last time they played at the French Open, but he has since then lost to Nadal in a few tournaments on clay. So talking about Novak, I think his game is really good right now. He won the Australian Open, and it's just that he needs to control his emotions, and I think he needs to play a bit differently against Thiem and Nadal. So he knows how to play against Nadal. He knows that he has a specific tactic that he uses, but against Thiem, sometimes he doesn't use the appropriate tactic and he plays a bit too defensive. And Thiem is a very good player. He can attack as well. And the recent years where Novak has actually lost the match against Thiem at the French Open, it seems like he is very happy to play from the back of the court. And believe it or not, I think Thiem has too much heaviness in his ground strokes at the clay and at the French Open, and hence he is a more dangerous player if he plays aggressive. And I think Novak has had problems with that. So I think he needs to play aggressive himself, Novak. And against Nadal, he has some sort of margin for error or margin to play a bit defensive. But against Thiem, he just doesn't have that because Thiem is a very aggressive hitter of the ball. He hits the ball cleanly and he is not afraid to go big on big points. Whereas with Rafa, if you play a bit defensive and if you want to try to rally with Rafa, for some time he will play with you in that fashion and he will allow you to rally, even though, of course, he'll be victorious in the end because that's his forte, but he'll still allow you to be in the rally. But with Thiem, it's not the case. Thiem can pull the trigger at any time, and he also knows how to play with Novak. So there are quite a few players only that know how to play with Novak. One is Stan Wawrinka, so he has also given a lot of trouble to Novak in the recent years. So I think Thiem is also one of the player who knows what specific tactic he needs to use and how to play with the rhythm that Novak has and how to win against them. And having done that in the past, I think Thiem would be really confident if he faces Novak and if he faces Nadal as well. Now, talking about the draw, I think Rafa has a really tough draw. If all those players in his draw do make it to the fourth round and the quarters and the semis and the finals, yes, it's a tough draw, but you can never count Nadal out because it's the French Open. The court is still going to be the same, even though the conditions are different. But still, it's the biggest court in the world, and Rafa will always be the favorite at the French Open if it's a five-set match. So let's hope that it's going to be an exciting tournament with all the good matches, and all these top players like Thiem, Novak, and Rafa do get to the semi-final stage so that we can see a good clash between these players. And I personally think that Thiem has the best chance to win this year just because he is coming off of a Grand Slam victory and he's confident, he's playing well, he has a lot of match practice under his belt, and he really plays well on clay. And I think he can also play well on faster surfaces because of his shots, because of his heaviness in his shots. Novak, I think he plays well, but he has had some issues with his movement on clay. He has complained in the past about it being the court being too slippery. So it seems like even though he moves well, but it seems like he's somewhat uncomfortable on this surface in terms of movement. And Rafa, of course, is Rafa, so he's going to be the favorite. But I think out of the three players, because Rafa doesn't have that match practice that he always has, and he's of course, even though he's the king of clay, but still he requires some practice, and he has always had those 3 or 4 tournaments before the French Open that sort of helped him get into the groove. And by the time he came to the French Open, he was in his best form. This time he doesn't have that luxury. He didn't have that much to practice as well, of course, and the conditions are different. The court is different. Uh, the roof is there. The balls are different. So it looks like on paper all the things are against Nadal, but of course he's a fighter, and he has told that in the press conference that whatever the conditions are, he just wants to accept it and just wants to play well. So we hope that it will be a good tournament for all the three guys, and I think personally that Thiem has the best chance to win, and then anything can happen between these three players. But I personally think that Thiem has the best chance. So what do you guys think? Please put that in the comments, and let's hope for a great French Open, and we'll see after the first round and the second rounds what's the status. Okay, thank you.